Today I'm talking you through some tips and things to consider when you're buying your first guitar. After yesterday's vlog when I picked up my new Gretsch in Leeds, I thought it would be really cool to give you guys some tips on what to do and what not to do when you're going out and buying your very own guitar. Quite a few of you reach out to me during my live broadcasts and in Twitter DMs asking for advice on things like this, so I hope these tips help you. Number 1. Do your research. Determine why you're buying the guitar in the first place and, importantly, where you're going to be using it. For example, you're not going to need the most awesome looking guitar in the store with the biggest price tag and the biggest amp to match if you're only just a beginner and you have really intolerant neighbours. An acoustic is probably better for you in this situation. Really put the time in to looking for something that is just for you. Have a really good browse online and don't just stick to the household guitar brand names that you know. Shop around, you might find something that you like more. And when I say do your research, I mean really do your research. Look into what strings work best for the guitar you're looking at. Look into the make of the pickups if you're buying an electric guitar. Even get some recommendations from friends or look at some reviews online. What are other musicians saying about the guitar that you're looking at? Is the guitar model known for having any problems? I bought this beautiful Sunburst Epiphone Les Paul about 10 years ago. It is the lightest guitar I have ever had. It's really beautiful, it plays well, but back then I didn't really put in my research. It wasn't until I did a few shows with it that I realised that the strap knobs had a tendency of completely falling off. This actually resulted in me doing one of my shows sat down playing electric guitar, which is less fun. After looking into the issue, I found that a lot of other people that had bought the same model had exactly the same issue. The glue they'd used in the factory to keep them inside the body of the guitar obviously wasn't strong enough. Not ideal if you want to throw the guitar over your head like the cool rock star you are. I don't recommend doing that unless you really want to injure yourself. Point is, the more research you put into the guitar model you're looking at, the less problems you're likely to have. Tip 2, set your budget. Buying a guitar is a huge investment. They cost a lot of money, so on the day, know what your budget is. There's always going to be plenty of options for you regardless of your budget, so don't think that you need the big ones just to get a guitar that you'll enjoy. Don't worry if you only have a small budget. If you're a complete beginner, you'll probably be able to pick up a semi-decent guitar for around £50 or £60, depending on where you go. If you only want to spend a very small amount on a guitar, try a second-hand shop or a charity shop, I guess. They do them sometimes. Gumtree, Craigslist, eBay. But bear in mind, unless you're incredibly lucky, that guitar's probably not going to be the best. However, I strongly recommend saving up the cash to buy the guitar that you want, even if it takes you a long time. Which brings me on to my next tip. Never settle for less. Even if you were only just starting out on guitar, that £60 one that you did spot on eBay or Gumtree is affordable, yes, but when it comes to it and you have to sit there and rehearse every night and the strings are grating through your fingers because they're probably rusty and about 10 years old, that's when you're going to wish that you invested a little more for a better guitar. You get what you pay for, and you'll find a lot of the cheaper guitars are sometimes not built correctly. Perhaps the pickups aren't too great, the strings are questionable. Instead, if you've put the money down and invested in a nice guitar in the first place, it's going to be a lot nicer for you, the guitarist, to play. You need to be comfortable, especially when you're just starting out. You don't want to demotivate yourself because you are uncomfortable. So just take into consideration that you should never settle for less. Don't rush anything. Put your money away. You don't have to buy it this second. Buying a guitar is an exciting experience in itself. For a lot of us, it's like a kid walking into a candy store. It's very easy to get carried away. Don't let that adrenaline make you buy something that you're going to regret later on. Don't let other people rush you into anything either. I've had an experience in the past when I've walked into a second-hand guitar shop and the salesperson was determined that I walked out with a brand new guitar by the end of the day. Remember, salespeople are there to make sure you spend money, and some of them don't always have your best interests here. Not all of them want to sell you what you want, but instead whatever has the biggest price tag. I had a really bad experience when I bought my very first electroacoustic guitar. I'd popped my head into the shop a few times before just to browse around, and each time I could see the sales guy getting increasingly agitated that I hadn't bought anything yet. I was taking my time because number one, I didn't have much money to spend and I was still saving up, and number two, I wanted to get it right. I wanted to get something that I really wanted. When the day came that I absolutely knew that I wanted a guitar, we went back to the store. On reflection, I really did let the guy talk me into buying something that really wasn't for me, and I ended up taking it back and trading it in for the tailor that you see over there. But don't let that bad experience put you off. Most salespeople, especially in guitar shops, will know to give you some space and time because they are more than likely musicians themselves. This leads me on to my next tip. Ask questions. The sales guy or girl on the day is there to answer any questions you have, so make sure you ask them. If you found a guitar but you prefer it in blue, just ask. If you're not certain what a certain knob on a certain guitar does, just ask. The reason that person is there to sell you that guitar is because they probably know a lot about guitars, so ask them any questions you have. Buy the whole package. If you've never bought a guitar before, you might not know the certain things that you're gonna want to buy with it. You're gonna need a strap, lots and lots and lots of guitar picks, like lots of them. I can't stress how many guitar picks you're gonna need. You're gonna need a guitar lead. And very important, a guitar case. Now, some guitars will only fit some cases, so it's important to do some research into what is going to be best for your guitar. A lot of shops have cheap plastic guitar covers, but I would not recommend getting one of those. However, if you're gigging a lot, maybe you're going on tour, then you're going to need something that's a little bit more sturdy. This is a guitar case I picked up online on a website called Thomann. I would highly recommend these. It's actually made of fiberglass, so it is super duper strong, and it's always kept my Taylor guitar safe. Like I said, a lot of cases only fit certain guitars, so you've got to put the research in and get the one that fits yours. Otherwise, your guitar is going to be swimming around in there with too much room and it could get damaged. While I'll always recommend hard cases, Taylor actually have some pretty decent soft cases that come with your Taylor guitar when you buy it. This case came with my Taylor GS Mini, which is at the back there, and that's a smaller bodied guitar, so this is a smaller case. The Taylor GS Mini is perfect for traveling. It's really, really easy to store because of its size, and it can even fit in the overhead compartments on an airplane if you're doing a show overseas. While this is a soft case, it's actually really good at protecting the guitar. It's really well padded, and it comes with a storage zipper at the bottom so you can store your music books or your equipment or your straps in there. People ask me all the time if I play the cello because they think there's like a mini cello in there. It's a weirdly shaped hard case, but it fits my Taylor perfectly. Hard cases can be pretty pricey, and if you've already put the money down for the guitar that day, maybe you just want to buy a soft case for now and then invest in a hard case for the future, because it's just going to protect your guitar and make sure that it's completely safe. Always try before you buy. With the Epiphone Les Paul that I mentioned earlier, I got really lucky. I bought that on eBay for about £150 and it turned up at my door a week later, undamaged, thankfully, and actually in really good shape. While that was a lucky purchase, I've heard some real horror stories from people that have just outright bought a guitar online and had it delivered to them. There is always the possibility that the guitar is going to get damaged on its way to you, but most importantly, what if it arrives and you actually don't like it? To avoid disappointment, go and visit your local music shop, wherever it may be, and spend a few hours in there sitting and trying out every guitar that you like the sound of. It's got to be comfortable, in your price range, and sound kick-ass. When I was 17, I really wanted to get a Gibson SG. School of Rock probably had some influence over that. So I tried it out in a store one day, and actually, it felt quite uncomfortable. I found the guitar to be way too heavy, and I could never see myself actually being able to manage a 2-hour show on stage with that thing around my neck. If I hadn't have tried it out in the store that day and just bought one online, then I probably would have been very disappointed. My neck muscles would be on point though. Make sure your final decision is your own decision. Don't be influenced by others if they've told you that they don't like the sound of a particular guitar or the look of a particular guitar. Go with what you want. It isn't like buying a new dress or a new pair of shoes. This is something that you are going to use every single day, hopefully. Go for one that's speaking to you the most. Thanks for watching. I hope these tips have helped you in some way if you're looking at buying your first guitar very soon, which is exciting. You should be excited. If you guys have any questions or you have tips of your own that you'd like to share, leave them in the comments below for people. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for another vlog. Bye.